Hey YouTube, we're going to continue the coverage of RLCS 1v1s that happened this last weekend with a Swiss stage matchup between Nwpo and Ghaazi, because this is the qualifying match that got Nwpo into the top 16. Now, I know that is a slight spoiler of the result, but I think based on what I'm going to title this video, it's probably already a spoiler because Nwpo has been going absolutely crazy in these games, which is a good sign because I don't think we have Diaz replays available. You can go back and watch the Diaz VODs on my live streams where we watch some of his games, but Diaz is looking equally as comfortable over there in NA on his way to qualifying for the group stage. The difference is that Diaz might have a slightly easier bracket than Nwpo's going to have because, man, Group A is ridiculous over in MENA. But anyways, we will watch a little bit of Nwpo Ghaazi to see how he's playing, how this one went, and just how solid Nwpo has been performing. Ghaazi is a strong player. If you have just been casually following Rocket League 1v1s, maybe you've only been really following Nwpo and have never heard of Ghaazi because he's not on top qualifying RLCS teams, as Nwpo going to go Diaz challenge and will succeed all the way from the back wall to get his second goal. Ghaazi is a guy who has actually been getting wins against Nush and playing in the open tournaments. I mean, they all have a different name. They haven't had a consistent name. They're probably from, here on out going to be called Cash Cups if I had to guess. But there was like the off-season tournament and the community. I can't remember all the names. But there were these 1v1 tournaments in which Epic was putting up a decent amount of prize. They were officially sponsored by Epic. Ghaazi's the guy who I think has basically won all of them for MENA. Now, the Twins and the Falcons and Nwpo have not been playing in them, but clearly he is that next up guy, which gives you an idea of how strong of a player he is, and I think that's relevant for how Nwpo ends up playing in this match. It's a best of 5 here. Nwpo already went 2-0 in the first couple rounds. You guys might have seen a previous video earlier this week of Nwpo playing TRK. That was round 1 of the Swiss. I'd recommend going to check that out as well because we haven't seen TRK in ones in a while, and we might end up seeing a similar match. Well, the only reason why we're not going to see similar matches late in the playoff bracket is because the draw is so bad for the top talent, or what we at least perceive as the top talent in MENA, that only a few of them will be able to actually make it through the bracket and get into that late playoff stage. Now, the reality is, it comes down to the seeding that probably led to those tough draws, which all comes from RLCS ranked. Or it's not RLCS ranked, we wish. 1v1 ranked. So 1v1 ranked, seeded everybody, and then they played in through the Swiss. Swiss had some relevance as well, but your seed going into the Swiss and all that kind of stuff had to do with ranked. So it just did not pan out, unfortunately. Maybe, slightly because guys like TRK are not going through the Swiss undefeated, but also he DQ'd. Basically, it's out of their control. It's not like they made bad decisions. It is all algorithmically seeded here for the start of this, starting with 1v1 ranked, and it just so happens they have as bad of a group as they could possibly hope for. I mean, it's maybe not fully all the 8 best players in one half, but it's pretty close. Hopefully, if I remember, I'll put the groups up on screen instead of just referring to them casually, assuming you guys know them. Hopefully, I remember. Or hopefully, you've already seen them at some point after getting into this video. But 7-0. 7-0 for Nwpo. He is halfway through this game 1 against Ghaazi. And when we were watching live, we did kind of pick to watch this one because a bunch of different matches are happening at the same time, but it became quite clear that it was not going to be a close game. That it was not really as tight as maybe some other matchups that could be worth checking out, and that's one of the reasons why I have decided to go back and see exactly what fully happened in this matchup against Ghaazi, because that's a nice ground pinch. So 7-1 as Ghaazi gets a reset and a ground pinch, but Nwpo has been super all in. We saw it in the TRK matchup just how much he is throwing everything into offense. Maybe playing a slightly more risky kickoff style based on how often he was losing them. He'll have to clean that up at least a little bit. As Nwpo goes air triple bump and gets the demo, makes it 8-1. The top candidates coming from North America and MENA do seem to play ones a little bit more free-flowing than the EU champion. Yan definitely likes to as well. But Moxie, that guy with a bit more rigid playstyle, I'll be really interested to see. I think that gets rewarded on LAN, especially with how nervous they played their previous games. But oh my goodness, what a save from Ghaazi. But I'll be interested to see if Nwpo switches up what he does. It seems like he plays his RLCS 3s pretty similar to how he plays his, ranked and 3s at home. So maybe we'll see the same high-flying player that we're used to. I'm not sure if Ghaazi is trying to fight through this game specifically to try and get something going here against Nwpo, as he is now down 9-1, or if maybe he's, unaware that he could forfeit. Definitely a lot of forfeits happened in other games. In fact, in NA, some forfeits were happening real early. 1v1 can be quite the tilter, and NA has actually kind of always had a reputation for being slightly early forfeiters. I think some of the top players from NA were quicker to forfeit than I would say other places are, but not necessarily to their detriment. It can be a good idea to get out of a tilter to keep your mind right when you've truly already lost it. I mean, Ghaazi has lost this game. Ghaazi has lost this game. Forfeiting would not be the end of the world, as Nwpo flicks and doubles to the backboard. But instead, Ghazi's fighting it out, looking to try and see if he can figure anything out in game time. Nothing wrong with that strategy as well, as he now booms one to the backboard. Didn't pressure it at all, just full faith in Nwpo to clear it away, and he can't even get a touch on the ball. 11-1 with 16 seconds left to go. Neither one of these guys seemingly pulling off the gas and kind of wasting out the time. Ghaazi just getting the ball stolen from him. Nwpo pogo. Oh, I love it. Pogoing for the fans. Ghaazi might be the one to finish with a goal. He does. 11-2. 11-2 in this game number 1. Let's head quickly to game 2. Ghaazi has switched to the Octane for game number 2. Maybe that will be the answer here against Mr. Nwpo. Nwpo going to win the first kickoff. Doesn't get anything out of it. I feel like, I was talking about how they were grinding it out to the end, but it already feels like they're playing a bit speedier here on the reset, trying to look for the first goal, and Ghaazi is actually going to go up 1-0. The first lead he has seen. Last time, I think he let in 6 or 7 goals before he put one on the board. Ghaazi, I liked that potential wall pinch, but I don't know if he bailed out on purpose or just missed it. You really got to break up Nwpo's style, change something up based on how game number 1 went. Nwpo is just going to read you like a book, get a reset and dash it bottom right. I mean, this is what Diaz looked like last night as well. This is why I could be so excited about this potential matchup. Diaz just so comfortable in the air. Nwpo, nice speed to this one to make it 2-1. I'm not sure that we've seen too much adjustment on the kickoff. I actually kind of want to watch Nwpo's kickoff, because this is something that you need to vary up a decent amount. It won't be the difference between whether or not he wins against Ghaazi or not, but it could definitely be the difference later. Nwpo's got a kickoff in his half, and he's being allowed to head to the skies again. Ghaazi maybe feels better about these goal line defenses than maybe trying to dive. Expects Nwpo to beat him in the open field and then shoot on a free net if he goes for that, I imagine. So seems to like his chances better on the goal line, but that's not going well. Oh, nice fake. I mean, Nwpo clearly was expecting that to go to the left side of the net. He did his best to backflip off of it, but Ghaazi punishes, and again, is off the kickoff that he was able to create and keep his advantage. Nwpo will win this one to the side wall. Ghaazi closing distance. Really wide shadow. I think that makes a tough angle to challenge after he kind of swings around and is forced to make a move across the play instead of kind of with the play. And Nwpo's double jump will easily get around. Ghaazi over the top of Nwpo and doubling this one in. 5-3. Definitely a great improvement. Ghaazi showing why he's able to win those off-season 1v1 tournaments. Nwpo, really weak shot off the kickoff with no boost. I like this from Ghaazi. The only issue is he popped that up a little bit too high. If he could have kept the pop-up lower, then he might have been able to counter, and just like that, Nwpo shows how a counter can be done. This is how you quickly counterattack. But yeah, Nwpo's shot was not nearly strong enough to be able to get away with it. Ghaazi should have been able to punish here. A little camera check from Nwpo. He's just going to take it away. All right, a little bit of time wasting from Nwpo. This is not how he played other parts of his 1v1. He just ran the score up over and over again. But actually trying to bait Ghaazi in now. And Ghaazi has accepted the bait, is trying his best to make something happen here in the blue half. And I would say he's got a decent position. Double jumping it straight into Nwpo, though, who had enough from pads to make a high save. Again, Ghaazi has Nwpo pulled out of nets. Can he find a way to convert on it? He does this time. Brings the ball. Oh, sorry about that. All right, there was a slight pause on my end, but we pick up right back into it here. Nwpo, again, going for a possession play back into his own half. You saw some slight camera work to see what Ghaazi was up to. Air dribble, reset double this time. Ghaazi, instead of going for a goal line save, did jump to maybe try and close some distance in the air with Nwpo, and that does not work out. Interesting kickoff from Nwpo. So he tries to get around the side of the ball and just slams it back into his own half. Chaining dashes together on 0. I think he was hoping either for a ball touch or maybe a demo if Ghaazi stuck around low on the back wall. Ghaazi dodged both of those, and nice resets to put it out behind him. 7-5 Octane Ghaazi. Looking a lot stronger than what we saw from him out of the Fennec. Delay flick. It's going to make it 7-6. Within one. A minute 45 in. Nwpo's still getting his goals. The difference is Ghaazi is getting some as well. Feels like Nwpo is flipping really late on these kickoffs as he pushes the ball through. This one goes into the orange half, but Ghaazi takes control. Ghazi's got a tie game against Nwpo here. Continuing to fight. I'm going to go Nwpo POV again for this kickoff. See how he's handling the diagonals. I don't know if he read Ghaazi. Ghaazi just did it so weird. I mean, this one is less important because I think there's a chance he even read what Ghaazi was going to try and do. I don't know if he thought Nwpo was going to delay. Ghaazi went so far around the side of the ball to try and kind of chip it around him, which, I mean, is a big mistake if somebody's just taking a standard kickoff. And then Nwpo gets another 9-7. So quickly, Nwpo puts himself back in the lead for the remaining 90 or so seconds. Nwpo stealing the back corner. Ghaazi very starved out, working on just pads. Actually a decent pinch though is going to force a full reset from Nwpo. That being said, at the end of the world with a 2-goal lead, a minute left to go. Nwpo seems willing to get a full reset. In fact, almost trying to bait Ghaazi in. He can only wait so long though. I don't think he wants the ball to stop bouncing. So at some point, he wants to clip underneath it and start the carry. And turning immediately back on the ball. This is classic Nwpo style. Nice demo from Ghaazi on the recovery to prevent the goal. And he's trying to go fast play the other way, which doesn't seem like it's necessarily going to pay off, only because he's not going to be faster than the respawn. And he's going to be going top speed with no boost, which doesn't seem ideal. But he stayed in control of the possession. And then he baited Nwpo off the back wall. Got himself within one. Another big kickoff. Straight ahead. Nwpo just flipping through it. Kept the ball in the middle of the field. Did play off in his favor. Ghaazi getting read by Nwpo as he set up off the side wall. Nwpo is going to turn in. You are never going to have the kind of space to get too many touches in a row when playing against Nwpo. Nwpo. Nice recovery after this save. Back on the ball. Will he get one more for the road? Will Ghaazi dive? Doesn't seem like it's going to matter. He'll undercut Ghaazi. Game number 2 goes to Nwpo. Let's head to 3. Game number 3. Let me update this overlay to indicate that. Nwpo headed to ceiling heights at the start of a fresh game. Ghaazi finds himself quickly in a tough spot. What placement from Nwpo on the resets. Crossbar down and in. Ghaazi could have made a save on maybe a much worse shot, but never stood a chance on that one. As Nwpo checking to see what Ghaazi's going to do. And recognize that Ghaazi likely to leave. Now we'll collect his ball, go for a double jump bump. Or not even a double jump bump, he's just trying to pop it over the top of Ghaazi. And Ghaazi challenging from that angle. I mean, it just feels like there's nothing Ghaazi can do if he tries to stick around and play Nwpo's game. You know, right now I'm saying he needs to not get in these positions, but it almost feels like what you definitely don't want to do is play Nwpo in a speed game where you both just try and chase the ball. You're going to lose in that game too. So just a tough position for Ghaazi to be in, as Nwpo will jump over the top of a Ghaazi bump to collect the ball. He is certainly slowing the game down now, though. Not just taking every dribble. Seems to want to bait Ghaazi in. Big shot here. Collects the boost, leaves the net wide open, and I mean that's the kind of egregious slow play that he has been up to in the past couple minutes. I think a different Nwpo is not giving that one up. There's a wave dash kickoff on the diagonal. You can see him mixing it up. Ghaazi misses. I'm surprised Nwpo goes in and out of the net there. Seemed like he needed to turn on the ball and start making a play on it, but expected to be able to make the save on the follow-up shots. So it's 2-2. Kickoff goal. Another standard one from Nwpo as he just tries to force left. Works out strong. Now dead center kickoff. Again, slight adjustment right. Just tried to force it left again. Worked previously. Why not one more? Nice save from Ghaazi. Predicting where the shot was headed. And a decent 50 win from him here. Let's see. Nwpo, though, actually is going to back off. Let Ghaazi go to work. Feels good about his goal line defense. Doesn't seem interested in closing the distance at all, even with Ghaazi slow playing. And for good reason. Nwpo never sweat for a second there, as Ghaazi was not able to get any meaningful height on that dribble and kind of threaten more than just one place in the net. Ghaazi, nice use of his flip. Almost got bumped out of position off the kickoff, but does manage to control. Keeping ball cam on here for a bit as he goes up for a 50 and gets a third goal. Much better take this time. As we head to the left diagonal. Interesting. Nwpo moving on the left side of the ball and flipping right in through it on the left diagonal. Does win it into the orange half, but it's actually going to be a possession that he resets. And he will go for the full field air dribble from his own back wall. And this one is looking like a Diaz-like dribble in the sense that it seems like he's slow-mo's time. How is he traveling the distance of the field in such control without really forcing the issue at all? Ghaazi, his flick, just trying to put this ball in the blue half and see what he can make happen. Nwpo drives out from under the ball to go bump Ghaazi away as he tries to get his setup going. Another stare down on Ghaazi. Where is he going to be? How do I want to set up this aerial? And he just goes for a ceiling pass and then 50. Shoots it to make it 6-3. He has been on an insane scoring run. Obviously, one's a lot higher scoring than other game modes, but still quite the rarity to ever get to 10 goals. A lot of people's overlays are not even prepared for it. 2 digits pop up and everything gets broken. Nwpo misses on this one off the ceiling. 0 boost. Ghaazi should absolutely be scoring here. And if he doesn't, oof. Not a great sign for Ghaazi. Nwpo. Oh my goodness, Ghaazi just backed off. I had to see from Ghazi's POV. I thought he was maybe just going for a demo. He was expecting Ghaazi to get a save, and then he would get the demo and get a follow-up. And maybe Ghaazi knew that as well. Maybe that's why he backed off and didn't touch the ball. But obviously, in a situation like that, you have to try and make a save. I mean, the option is the ball just goes in the net, you know, so there is really no choice to dodge the demo. Otherwise, you're giving one up for free. Nwpo is just so much quicker to this ball. I don't know if Ghaazi is delaying them. You know, there's been a few things that Nwpo's done that made it seem like he's not necessarily expecting a delay, just expecting to be a bit faster and beat Ghaazi to it. On this diagonal, Nwpo low on the ball as he tries to force it through, ends up allowing Ghaazi to tap it over the top to his half, and a pre-jump from Nwpo. These are dangerous, but his MO, and Ghaazi is going to punish. Wave dash kick out for Ghaazi. Another advantage for him. Trying to delay, maybe into a late dash or flick. Does not work out though. Even seems to dash away from the ball, so Nwpo's going to have an easy time taking it the other way, as he's now, again, 1 goal off of 10 goals. Nwpo thought about the demo, couldn't connect on it. Is just going to back off here. Oh, what is going on with Ghaazi? Ghaazi may be tilting out of this game. That is just a random flip off into no man's land. Not what you want to see. But also, Ghaazi not the kind of guy to give up, even though he's down 2 in the best of 5. Still powering through. Couple bumps onto Nwpo. Ooh, nice acceleration from 0 to 100 there. Using the curve to dash up. But I'm not sure that's going to save him from Nwpo's possession. Ghaazi got to switch the field here. Oh, they both thought demo. Ghazi's the one who comes out on top, though. 10-7. Gonna need some cheeky kickoffs if Ghaazi wants to extend this series. They're both 2-0 in the Swiss right now, so not the end of the world to lose this one. Swiss being designed intentionally to give these guys a ton of chances. And they do ultimately capitalize on all their chances. Oh, nice fake. Oh, but he didn't score off of it. He just lets it hit the ground. Nwpo, he advances 3-0. He scores 10 goals a game. I didn't get to see the replays, and Nwpo doesn't upload his VODs, so I can't remember how his middle match went. I think it was against someone that he was heavily favored to beat, although that player did make top 16. It was the Kuwaiti, is it Kuwait? It might be, I think it's Kuwait, but it might not be. I'm not 1,000% sure. In Nav, you'll see in the top 16 bracket. But impressive run from Nwpo, scoring left and right. Didn't seem to break a sweat at all because, I mean, that's a good sign because his opponents over there in NA, Diaz, didn't seem to break a sweat either.